And I'm sick of this. I think it's time Pawn Man gets himself an upgrade. There's somebody in the gold and silver business drive. Welcome you guys to another episode of Pawn Man, formerly known as Evan Tales of Pawn Star. I work in the gold and silver business. I bring my camera along to work. I do some deals. I educate you about how this business works. We're gonna make some money. We're gonna have some fun. Let's go inside. All right, let's see what's going on eBay. Okay, this is going out. We got a 1964D mint set, just like a partial mint set of these uncirculated coins. These are 90% silver. This one, and this one here. This pile of old euros I paid 10 bucks for last week. Went for 23, so I double my money here. And then this is the big winner. This is a 14 karat women's diamond encrusted watch. And the whole thing is gold, even this. The only thing that's not gold is the movement. I paid the lady 500 bucks for this. I sold it for 1,000 the next day. So let's package these up. We have lots of really old like jewelry holders and like watch holders and stuff. This is the nicest watch holder I could find. Again, my profit margin was so healthy that I want to make this as presentable as possible because I don't want this to get returned. So I put these up yesterday. These are white gold diamond encrusted earrings and a ring. I had the earrings already. The ring came in this week and I just put all three of them together because the earrings have been sitting on my desk. And it is 7.28 grams of 14 karat gold. They're offering $350, so it'll be closer to $310 when all is said and done with eBay fees. Let's see if that's worth it. 7.28 times 0.585, because as we remember, the purity on 14 karat is 58.5%, equals 4.25 grams of gold times 55. That's about what gold's going for right now. Gold's down a little bit this week. $234. Yeah, that's actually a good deal. We're gonna take that. Usually when I sell jewelry, you guys probably know this by now, I always ask way more than it's worth just to see if I can get it. We're looking for a green, is this it right here? Huh, I'll be damned. I found it right away. There's this phenomenon where I don't sell the item. It just seems to fucking fall off the face of the earth from sitting in obscurity for too long. I mean, sometimes people are like very understanding. Like, oh yeah, I'm a seller too. I know how it goes. But other times people just get like so pissed off. All right, so we're gonna do something a little bit different. I'm sitting at my boss's desk. King of the castle. I have a chair. My friend gave me her coin collection because her grandpa just died. I haven't looked at any of this stuff. I'm gonna go through it. I'm gonna see if there's anything interesting in here and I'm gonna buy it from her. So let's open it up. So right away, I can see she's got some silver coins, and I guarantee she's gonna be very pleasantly surprised at how much she gets from some of these. Got some paper currency too. These Kennedy half dollars are some of the most common things I see. If you get them from 1965 to 1970, they're made with 40% silver. Beyond 1970, forget it, just spend it. So I'm seeing she's got a 1969 here, so this is worth about $2. At least that's what I'll pay her. Worth probably about $250, but I gotta make some money. And these 40%ers, I never ever sell to anyone except other dealers. So what I'll do is I'll just accumulate them until I have like 1,000, and then I'll just unload them all on one person. So I'll make a pile of the 40%. Okay, so she got these proof sets. They still make them to this day. It's basically a fundraising tactic by the mint. Sometimes they make them in silver. These are not silver. So what it is, the US Mint every year will put out a little collection of all the coins that they produce in that year in a fancy set with fancy packaging and a little, this doesn't even have the certificate, but usually it comes with a certificate. Older people tend to like to buy these. Younger people like never buy these. I've got drawers and drawers and drawers full of them. They go on eBay. It does comprise a good deal of our eBay sales, so I guess I'm thankful for that because it does generate revenue for us. But like 1968, I know for a fact I have at least 30 of these right now, and I've had them for over a year, and I'm gonna continue accumulating them. So it's nice to have a catalog, but I'm gonna give her $5 for the two of these. I should probably write this down. 68 proof set. I'll pay her more than that. I'll pay her $7 for the two. Some spenders there. She got a 44 Walking Liberty. This is worth $7.50. These are Eisenhower dollars. They have President Eisenhower on them and an eagle on the back. These are also some of the most common coins that I see in mass that people think are rare, and they're not. They're usually clad. Sometimes they made them with silver. If these have an S mint from 1971 to 74, then they're 40% silver, but alas, these do not. And you can tell too, when you look at them, if it's one color, then it's silver, but if it's this split color here where it's kind of red, that means it's clad, or not precious metal. I'll buy them for $1.10, that's my friend. I usually turn these away, because I've got so freaking many of these. I sell these on eBay, 20 of them for $35, and and I pay $1.10. So I make, you know, in 20, I'll make just a couple bucks. She's got more silver coins. Here's a 64 Kennedy. Here's a 61 Franklin. And this is a steel cent. It's very worn down. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just make a pile of stuff that basically, it's not worthless, but it's so cheap that I'm gonna just pay a blanket price for all the coins. Seems to be its own pile. Okay, she's got a year set, 2 from 64, 1 from 67. This is an aftermarket deal. There's lots of coin companies that will just put together all the coins from the year and they'll package them in secondhand market packaging. This isn't particularly valuable. I'll give her $3 for this one. I'll give her $20 for these two. So she got 23 right here. 2 more year sets, 66 and 65. I'll do $6 on the pair. So 29 on the year sets. Okay, and this is where she's gonna have some money. So Washington quarters, 1932 to 64. And just looking at this, I can tell these are all heavily circulated. I'm only gonna buy them for the silver price. Paying 15 times face value today on quarters. 375 times 1, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So she got 78, 75. I'll round it up to 79. Treasury of coins. You guys can see these are books kind of coming apart. I mean, these are really worn down, these quarters. They're only worth silver value here when they're worn down like this. Washington's hair is way worn down. You can't see any lines in the hair really. There's very few details in the face. On the reverse, you can't really see the feathers in the eagle. Yeah, just silver here. Okay, pennies. All really worn down. This front page would be, if she had any of them, where the money would be. So, I mean, these coins are like 2 cents each. All right, I'm gonna give her $5 for this book, and I'm gonna throw it on eBay for $5 and let it ride. And if I'm lucky, I'll get $10 or $15. But the other thing that sucks about this is this has some weight to it. There's no way I'm gonna be able to ship this first class. This will probably cost me $8 to ship, and I'm gonna have to charge $8. So that's gonna really detract from my buyers. Yep, I'll come let you in a couple minutes here. Thanks. I put a sign up for lunch. Oh. And I wanted to do this without interruption. It sounds like someone's here. Have a seat right here. What do we got?
Silver. What do you want to start with? The good stuff?
Yeah, just start handing me stuff. Sterling silver.
Yeah. So with these guys, it says that it's silver on the... Oh, wait.
It's every 2 of them's an ounce.
Every 2 of them sounds good. I'll shut up. Okay, sorry.
I didn't say that, but... Yeah. Spring cleaning?
Yeah, something like that.
It says EPNS right here, which means electroplated nickel silver. Yeah, $8.50 in this bag, and $135 right there. And then we're gonna factor every 2 of these as an ounce. 8, 9.5. $142.50. $1,028.50. We'll call it $1,030.
Cool. You guys
okay?
good with that? You good with that? Yeah.
I just need a form of ID. All right, here's $1,030.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you. We have a lot of sterling on eBay right now, and it's just sitting there, and we gotta tie money up into it, and I just don't like that. Like these spoons here, these are really nice spoons. It would be a shame to melt these down. So what I'm gonna do, I paid $135 for this lot. I'm gonna just throw it up for $250 and see what happens, and I'll take kind of any offer I can get. Actually, I'll put it up for $300. I'm greedy. So these are gonna go to eBay. This stuff will probably get melted down unless our expert says it's really nice, and then the knives usually get melted down. I bet we'll make $300 or $400 off of that. Lord knows I'm gonna try. This is going in that same pile. See, I can just look at it in 2 seconds, and sometimes people are like, whoa, wait. It's an old coin. It's like, yeah. And I just looked at it and I can tell you that it's not worth anything. And then they'll fight me about it. So she's got some dimes here. Again, they're circulated, but they are 90% silver. I'm buying these dimes at $1.40 today. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. She's got 25 silver dimes. So this is basically everything. There's nothing major minus the silver content. All right, so let's add this up. And this very, very, very old calculator. That's what I'm gonna be paying her. All right, I'll round it up. $211. So I guess I'll text her right now and tell her. So just going over that sterling silver, I made a small mistake, but not really. So this spoon I bought, I thought it was silver. It's silver plate. However, it commemorates the Columbian Exposition of 1893 at the World's Fair. It's got Christopher Columbus here on the head. And there's a Colombian $50, which we've covered on the show already. And the spoon is very old and kind of cool. So I'm actually gonna sell this spoon for more than as if it were made from silver. I'm gonna ask 30 bucks on this thing, so I'm still gonna profit here. What I think I'll do is I'll pull one of these $50 because I have a few of them, and I'm gonna pair it with this, and I'll get one of my shittier ones, and I'll ask 50 bucks for the whole lot, and I bet I'll get it. Lemonade from Lemons. Let me show you guys something. These are two 14 karat gold chains. I have two of them. Each of them cost $1,150. They're new with tags from Macy's. I just sold these for $400. I paid the guy $200, so I paid him $100 a chain when they retailed for $1,150. Macy's is charging a 1,000% markup on this stuff, which is, well, I guess I was running a business, but the exact melt, it was something like $80 a chain, and I sold them for a fifth of what they cost new. So if there's one thing I want you to take away from the show, it's just never ever buy jewelry brand new. I'll show you guys the coolest treasure we obtained this week. We have this Somalian gentleman who's actually in the camera footage with that crazy Karen flipping out. Guy comes in here almost, not every day, but like every other day I see him. He usually just buys like a little bit of this, a little bit of that. He's mostly buying silver. But sometimes he gives us these random treasures and we either can keep them or we can sell them for him, but like he just gives them to us as gifts. It's really weird. Like this weird tiger statue thing that I put up here he gave to us. So he gave us this. What this is a real walrus tusk, but it was made in 1905. It's dated. You can see right there, dated 1905. It's hand painted, it's handcrafted. It was made by the Alaskan Native peoples, and it's so freaking cool. It's a cribbage board. I don't know what he's expecting, because he doesn't speak any English, and sometimes his grandson comes in. I call his grandson his translator, but his translator wasn't with him when he gave this to us the other day, so I don't know what he's expecting, but I just put this on eBay yesterday for $1,000. I have no idea what it's worth, what I'm gonna get, but it's beautiful. Albeit a little bit unethical. But this thing was killed 120 years ago, 115 years ago, so no love lost. I mean, just fucking look at the size of this thing too. Can you imagine this thing chomping down into you? I don't know if walruses attack humans. Still, you get what I'm saying. I'll show you guys something else. Sometimes people ask me, what does a fake bar of silver look like? It looks like this. So this was a 100-ounce bar. We've always had this. The owner keeps it as an example, just to show people, like it was one of the first things he showed me when I started working here. So what they do is they take these concrete rods right here and they pour silver over it. So there is some silver on it. It's just, it ain't 100 ounces. It's probably more like 20. I have had incredible luck this week with watches like this. These are gold-filled antique watches. I get them all the time, and I never pay more than 20, 30 bucks for them. When I say gold-filled, I mean there's a thin layer of gold on here, and it'll add up to maybe a gram, maybe a little bit more, maybe 2 grams, but not much. However, because these are so old and they're antiques, oftentimes they command a huge premium online. So this week, I bought one of these watches for 15 bucks and I put it up on eBay for 20 bucks as an auction. And obviously somebody knew something that I didn't. I got flooded with these requests for people asking me to take off the auction style and just make it a buy it now. And I ended up doing that. I sold one for $250 and I paid 15 bucks for it. So if you're ever at a garage sale and you see something like this, it's like a Waltham old watch that doesn't work, scoop it up. These go for big bucks on eBay. This one here, I just paid $25 for it. This is a real diamond. It's a fifth of a carat, so it's super tiny, but it is a really nice watch. Current bid on this right now is 50 bucks, so I've already doubled my money. I suspect I'm gonna be getting somewhere in the neighborhood of $150 to $200 for this watch. And it might sound like I'm really smart with these. I actually might be the sucker in this. One of these might be such a rare variety that it's worth thousands of dollars, and I just have no idea. My angle on this is, as long as I'm profiting and profiting heavily, like if I can turn $15 into $250, I've done something right. I'm happy. Well, now we play the waiting game. I sold some silver. Last Saturday was really dead, so we'll see what happens today. So while I'm sitting here, I may as well give you the educational part of the episode. I was going to talk about the Hunt brothers, but I started doing some research on them last night to tell you guys about the whole story, and I need to read a book on it because it's so goddamn fascinating. If you don't know who the Hunt brothers are, let me tell you who they are in a future episode. Don't look it up yet. But what we will talk about is the gold standard today and why I think the United States can never go back on it. So I made some TikTok stocks about this week, and they did very well. Basically, the gold standard backs our currency to gold. The gold that we hold, the Fed, the government holds as a nation, as a national power. So gold used to not be expensive, and as we've covered, gold and silver are one of the oldest forms, probably the oldest form of currency on the planet. It's been traded for thousands of years. It's been viewed as a commodity. Lots of empires have used gold coinage from all over the world, everywhere from Asia to America. We still make gold coins as a nation. They're more symbolic now. And they are more a way for United States citizens and other people to hold gold, or just hold like a 1 ounce gold coin or half an ounce or whatever. But we don't use them as actual money anymore. They do have a monetary face value. It's just, you'd be insane to spend it. Like a 1 ounce gold coin has a $50 face value, but it's worth, $2,000. So some idiot about 2 months ago came in with some silver dollars, some silver eagles, 1 ounce silver eagles that have a face value of $1. And they told me that their wife works at a bank, and some idiot brought 15 of them into a bank and traded them for $15 because you can do that because they didn't know what they were worth. And the wife asked her manager, and the manager was like, okay, this is a bonus. And that sounds kind of illegal. But the manager let this woman who works at the bank buy them from the bank for the face value and take them home, and she gave them to her husband, who turned around and sold them to me for $22 a coin. So I paid him, $300 something. So like I said, it's got a face value. It's just, you'd be insane to spend it at the face value. But back in the day when gold was cheaper, like 100 years ago, the face value made sense, pun intended. Like this right here is a 1928 $2.50 uncirculated gold coin. This had a face value of $2.50 in 1928, and back then the gold in this coin did not equal $2.50. That was a higher number than what the gold was. Right now, I'm selling this coin for $420. There's a bit of a premium because it's uncirculated.
Hello, hello.
Welcome back. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. What do we got?
So my question is did he get took, or are those actually worth something?
No, he got took. Yeah, 3.2 million is a pretty high mintage. Yeah, these ones are gonna be 23 each.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're gonna be a little bit more. I'll pay the premium just because they're US government backed.
Okay.
It's the most desirable kind, and I'm kind of low on them right now.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
So 22, 23, 18, 17, 20, 22 plus 23 plus $1,139.
Works for me.
Go, let me get your cash. Rounded it up. 1140. Good to see you.
Good business sense, huh?
Yeah.
Thank you
You're
very,
sweet.
very much.
I'll see you around.
Take care.
All right, so that was a back-to-back deal, and I only filmed one of them. We'll go over the other deal that I did. I'll just kind of summarize what happened, but I didn't want to blow the deal, and some people, I don't want to stick the camera in someone's face. I'm running a business first and entertaining you guys second. So the lady that came in here and sold me these Morgans is the same lady who consigned me the Tommy gun. I paid $18 each. Silver right now is $22.70. These are 90% silver. Probably sell these for $24, $25 each. There may be some dates in here, some rare mints. I don't think so. I've looked at hundreds of coins from this woman and she hasn't had a single good date yet. And somebody got ripped off on these. This is not a rare date. So somebody paid $75. They way overpaid, especially when it's in a shitty grade like this. And I also bought 3 silver eagles from her. These are probably the best kind of silver you can buy. I paid her above market price on these, and then I paid her below market price on this. This is just a generic one. And then this is 325 ounces of silver that I bought, and I for sure would have blown the deal if I would have filmed it. The guy thought that each of these bars was 8.8 ounces, and I put it on my scale and it was 8.1 ounces, and he got kind of argumentative with me about it, and I was like, look, I'm trusting my scale. I'm not gonna trust what you say, especially when it weighs 8.1 ounces with plastic on it. And I bought these. This has a huge premium online, and I don't know why the guy was willing to sell this when he knew this was a rare collectible. So 100 maples, 45 generics, and 160 ounces in these weird bars. I paid him on average $23.07 an ounce, when silver right now is $22.70, so I paid him a little bit above the market price because he's got this Canadian stuff. He wanted $8,000, and I wouldn't do it. I said 7,500 is as high as I'll go, because I offered him 74 and some change, and I was like, look, I'll kick it up to 75, but no higher. Got something to sell?
Another piece for you.
Another ounce of gold here, let me take a look. Looks like we got a Pamp bar, 1 ounce. Just let me test it quick.
Yeah.
Gold's 1870 right now. So I'd be a buyer of this at 1850. 16, 17. All right, I'll see you around. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice day, man.
Well, now I'm basically totally out of cash. So I just bought an ounce of gold. I just paid $18.50 for it. and I'm gonna try and get 1950 for it. Anyway, in 1933, the US government confiscated gold from private citizens and it became illegal to own for quite some time. We will talk about that in another episode, but what I want to talk about for this one is why we left the gold standard and what it means to go back on it, because a lot of people have been coming in here and telling me, oh, I'm gonna get a bunch of gold and silver because we're going back on the gold standard. Trump's putting us back on it. And that can never happen, and here's why. So when we left the gold standard, it didn't make sense, but it made a lot more sense than it does now. What it did, it removed our dollar from being tied to a tangible asset, gold, because we could measure our dollar, the amount of dollars that were printed and in circulation, against the gold reserves the United States had, and that gave our money something to back it by, something tangible that was worth money, that we could say it's not just a piece of paper that's an imaginary promise, it's actually tied to something physical. We were in a much better position than we were today. We had less debt. We had just gotten our asses kicked in Vietnam, but it didn't destroy our country. We just had more power as a nation. So we were able to walk away from something tangible and have our promise, our imaginary money, be worth the power and might of the United States backing, and that was fine. But fast forward 50 years, we have accrued an insane amount of debt. If we were to go back on the gold standard today, that would mean that we would have to retire money to something tangible and acknowledge the balance sheets that have been accumulating ever since. Meaning all the debt that's been piling up, instead of us just going la 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 like we have been, it's basically a wildfire that's been burning out of control, and instead of us fighting the fire, we would say, oh yeah, but there's fire over there, look at the sun over there, the sun is shining over there, you smell something? No, keep looking that way. So in a nutshell, by going back on the gold standard, it forces us to acknowledge our balance sheets, to acknowledge our debt, to have this whole dream of how powerful we are. Suddenly we wake up to the reality of our own nightmare, and it would instantly make us bankrupt as a nation. So if you hear anyone saying, we're going back on the gold standard, tell them that's bullshit and tell them Pawn Man said so. So I got a viewer question on TikTok, and I'd like to answer that. And the question was, since we covered Deepmere Proof Likes in episode 7, Morgan Silver Dollars, how do I know the difference between a cleaned coin and a coin that is a Deepmere Proof Like? And I'll explain. So here we have two coins. We have a Deepmere Morgan Silver Dollar, and we have a cleaned Morgan Silver Dollar, or one that has been known as being whizzed is a term for it. So you can always tell when a coin has been cleaned if it has kind of an unnatural shine to it. You guys see it's got almost like a film-like property on top of it. You can tell that the shine isn't natural. You can tell there's something sitting on the coin that's not meant to be there. The feathers here are worn down. The details on the hair are not perfect. They're a little worn in. This coin obviously has some wear to it, and yet it shines like it's a brand new coin, and it's just not natural. There's something funny going on. I'm touching this coin with my bare hands because it's been cleaned. It's really lost its collectability. A Deepmere Proof Like, you guys see the field here, how it has these naturally reflective properties, how it's just, the silver is like a mirror. Versus this one here, you'll notice the field, or the background, this part of the coin here, it's not nearly as reflective. It's a little scratched up. You guys see the difference? If you're ever not sure, do the 6-inch test. 6 inches out, check and see if it's like a mirror or if it's just simply capturing the light and the colors from your finger but not exactly displaying it like a mirror. And then check it again like this. You see the difference? 6 inches out, it's still like a mirror. 12 inches out, it's still like a mirror. That's a Deepmere. I'll show you guys this. I came across these old political buttons. Dump Nixon, Roosevelt Wallace, Johnson Kennedy. I'm asking $50 for this whole lot. Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Can I help you?
Just a couple of pieces of
What do you know about this necklace it's attached to? What do you know about it?
I know nothing.
You don't know anything about it? Okay.
No.
So this one here is actually gold filled. So there's just a trace amount of gold on it. See, it says GF in here.
Yeah.
So this would be only worth about $10.
Okay.
This one, the cross itself is 14, but it looks like the rest is not because the mark isn't holding for 10. I would be a buyer of everything you got at $30.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yep.
You just need a form of ID.
Ready, have a good day.
You too, have a nice weekend. So what she sold me right here, I mean, I bought it for 20. It's probably worth 30, 35. This is going on my scrap bucket. This is just gonna get melted down. I just got to my car and I realized I forgot to do an outro. So it wasn't that exciting of a day, but I did some deals. Hopefully you learned something. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Be sure you're following me on social media at Evan Kale. Any questions about this business or anything else you want me to address in a future episode, put it in the comment section. And I'll see you guys back for another episode of Pawn Man.